going like this here? I didn't see you. Where you went?
Oh, this is the whole packet.
Right on your side.
No, I've got a packet, I was just,
You want an agenda?
no, I got it, just,
Otherwise I can grab you another copy.
no, it's just a different address, and
No.
that's what I was concerned with, or was it right?
No, I after you pick that up, I'll
Okay, good. That's all I,
Way down there.
okay, well, I picked mine up on Friday and I got home, and I don't look at it right away. But I look at it. Because there is 2 and this is 4, right?
That's right.
Something and this is 4, okay.
You ready?
I will call the city council meeting Monday, September 19th. The order is 5:30. Roll call, please.
Mason?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yeah?
Colston? Yes. Slusher?
Yes.
Feltes? Wishing.
Yes.
We have a quorum. Pledge of allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Verification of posting.
The final agenda was posted at City Hall, State Bank of Arcadia, TV and Appliance on the city website on the 15th by 4:30 p.m.
Approval of the agenda. We have 12 item agenda.
So move.
Motion by Feltes, second by Slusher. Any changes or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Public comment? Any public comment? Public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to approval of meeting minutes from August 29th, 2016.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, second by Fetch. Is there any changes? Discussion? Hearing none, clerk will call the roll.
Mason?
Yes.
Fetch?
Yes.
Colston?
Abstain.
Slusher?
Yes.
Feltes?
Yes.
Wishing.
Yes.
Motion carries. Board and commission updates, we have none tonight. Department updates. Ms. Eva.
Scott's on his way here too. I just kind of wanted to give you, I don't know, should I sit or stand or?
You pick whatever's most
Whatever's
comfortable.
convenient, I guess
Yeah.
I could stand here. Just kind of wanted to give you an update of things that happened over the summer and how things went. So I just, messy notes, but right now, rec center, things are in place. We have flag football, volleyball, men's league will be starting soon. Rob, get ready.
Getting older and older to play.
4th through 8th grade boys and girls basketball will be starting soon. And again, the rec center is such a valuable place for us and for the community, so we keep it going, keep it usable, I guess, keep it up as much as possible. We do want to work on the gym floor, and possibly that could get done in 2017. One big thing we did over the summer was the planting of all the flowers along Soldier's Walk and in front of the visitor center, and I think it went extremely well this year. Angela kind of took charge of getting the flowers ordered and working with Seth and some master gardeners we worked with. The Catholic school 6th, 7th, and 8th graders planted the flowers, and that went really well. We had a great group of volunteers take care of the flowers. Jan Dworshak was in charge of that. She had a master list, and I tell you, we had no problems. It was great. So all that went
They
well.
looked awesome.
They really did look nice, Cynthia. We got a lot of compliments on them, and it was really nice. So, and Raleigh helped us. You know, I just got to put a plug in for Raleigh. Anytime you need something from that guy, he gets it. If it was bark or someone to come and do this or that, he's so good about that. So that went really well. This year we already have planned the public school. Kids are going to do the planting this year, so we're going to kind of switch it off between the schools. But we get a lot of volunteers there, which is nice. The park rentals, as you know, Schultz Park, Deer Park, Pavilion 2 all get rented. I just asked Sally how many rentals we had, and it was 74 rentals of the park, so that went really well. We kind of used a new system this year where I would double check if they were cleaned up and taken care of after they would rent them. And if they weren't, I'd call the people, but through the city hall, what they would tell the people, they have a form to sign, and we just keep following up on it, it worked really well. If there was something messy, as a matter of fact, the pavilion too, this past Saturday was left very much a mess Sunday morning. Called the guy, said you gotta get up there and clean it up, it was done. So, it went really, really well.
Good.
For summer went well. We had 280 participants in our 14 programs. Kevin got to help coach our third grade boys. I think you're on target for next year too, to help volunteer again. We sponsored 8 tournaments, had great coaches, concession, our employee help was very, very good. And I know you guys always see the bills that come in, just to give you a little update on the what came in. Our $19,000 came in fees. We had a donation of $1,800. Concessions was $10,400 for a total of summer park and rec intake of $31,200, which isn't bad in a two-month period. So on to the pool, which I'm hoping Scott gets here pretty soon. He was gonna help me out with this. Again, went well at the pool. Great employees. The swim lessons are always done by the school. I think you guys know that. We rent them the pool, and they pay us $12,150 for the rental, and that is perfect. It works out really, really well. We were closed 7 days for rain or fecal matter in the pool, 4 days for Ashley, and 12 days mechanical problems. And that's an issue with Scott and I and with the whole city, because those 12 days we had closed for mechanical problems probably cost the city $12,000 to $15,000 that we didn't get income those days. It saved, of course, on employee wages, but it did not help with our income. So we'd have sure liked Scott's working hard, and I'm working with him to update our thing, our pumps, everything that needs to be updated at the pool. And that's what he's going to be talking about when he gets here. We did stay under budget. We still have money in our budget, so we're happy with that. We sold about 131 between family, single, and lap swim passes. Our income for the pool, admissions was $28,000. Ashley gave us a donation of $1,500 for using the pool during Ashley for the Arts. The school, $12,150, and that's a total of $41,650. And concessions, we took in $13,500. Again, pretty good numbers, and I know we don't make a profit. We really probably don't break even at all. We've had a discussion on that, but I don't feel our pool is a for-profit institution or whatever. We are a service to the community. I think we really try hard to do a good job and make it work. A lot of stuff going on there, but it's good. It really is good. Marla's got to come up there a lot this summer. So I guess until Scott gets here, I know we have driver's ed, but I hope he knows it's here. I did tell him it's here. So
Is there
any questions? Yeah.
What was your total income then? I mean, you had from passes and then from
Oh, yep.
concessions.
The pool
Yeah.
total, well, $41,650 for admissions area. Concessions was $13,500.
So
So a total of $55,150.
good service to the community.
It's about $80,000 to run. It's expensive. It's expensive. It's not cheap. And we've done some surveys among the other pools in the area, and no one makes a profit. It's just how it is. And we keep, again, we're trying to get things up to snuff here. So,
Pools, how many years old?
17 years, and so, I'm going to tell you, it's seeing its better days in some of the things, some of the pumps, some of the that part. So Scott's really working hard to get that
We're
upgraded.
getting rid of some of the stuff that was in there, sand, like a sandbox and sand it
yes,
up in
yeah,
the
and I should
pumps
tell you
that we
about
ended up
that.
replacing and
Yeah,
stuff like that,
yeah,
which is going by the wayside, which should help with our maintenance costs.
Yes. If you know, there was that sand area and a kind of a grassy area. Golden Plum gave us a $5,000 donation, which I think I mentioned that to you before. And what we did, we have a shell for the shelter part, and then they just poured the cement. And that was all donated. The cement was donated, so we'll have some money left over. We're waiting, we're hoping a Boy Scout, an Eagle Scout class, I know, Eagle Scout may come and help us with the finish it up. It has to all match, of course. If not, Jason Lockington mentioned something that maybe Ashley could help us out. So we're getting some new bids on that, because now that the part of it is done already, we can maybe have cheaper bid than what they originally had. But otherwise, we're working with the Eagle Scouts with Mr. Holberg, I think his first name, Jeff,
Jeff.
to maybe an Eagle Scout would do that project for us. But that looked really nice, and all that sand used to come into the pool, because kids, they just couldn't rinse off. So that was always an issue too, so. So yeah.
Who
yeah.
donated the cement?
Independent Ready Mix. Raleigh, again, worked with them, asked if they donate, and they donated it.
That'll be,
That is about $2,000
that
donation.
was a big.
Huge. Yep, and then Raleigh put the rebar in, and then they poured the cement, and my brother Randy was the one that they contracted. He came in cheapest to whatever they have to do.
Finish it.
Thank you.
That's Blanchville, Arcadia.
No,
Independent?
Independence
This
is
is somebody owned by
Steve
Corner.
Corner.
corner, yes.
Okay.
Yep, and so we'll make sure, when this all gets done, we'll make sure we have a plaque for everybody that donated.
Right,
Yeah,
That's my next
yeah,
question.
let's make sure they know it.
Mhm.
great.
As you know, we had an Eagle Scout 2 years ago. Lisa Shucks, Brady Shuck did a huge project at the pool too, which was really, really nice.
In the inside there.
Yes, he did all the benches and all that. And then this year, we had to pay for it, but Raleigh, people have been asking for this a long time, just have some kind of a divider in the girls' and boys' bathroom, like, that. Especially, it's all open, and the older women, of course, really didn't care for that. So we put a stainless steel divider in there, I put a curtain up there, and it really works well. So, improvements are being made and good things happening.
Good.
Yeah, maybe just have to wait till,
Yeah, we can
is that all right?
always come
Because I
back.
think he has some things he wants to share with you. Thank you.
Yep.
Any, like I always say, anything you ever need, just give me a holler. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks,
All
Evan.
right, thank you.
Move on to the public hearing. We have a citizen participation hearing for the Myers Valley Creek reroute. So at this time, I'll open the public hearing.
I got a small presentation here, so.
Bill likes his presentations.
I like pictures.
He's a techie guy, right? Thank God.
Looking right there.
Everybody see? I've got a screen upstairs if you can see the screen.
Okay, so this is a citizen participation hearing for the Myers Valley Creek. This is a requirement for the CDBG grant program. These first two maps you've seen before, these are the map for the complete project scope. The dotted line in the red here is the Old Creek channel. And then the blue line here is the New Creek channel. This blue line here is the storm sewer, and then this blue line here is a levee.
Is what?
A levee.
A levee.
Oh, a levy.
Yeah, feel free to stop me if you have any questions along the way here. And then this again is the different project phases. The first phase is this yellow area. This is the excavation of dirt and the creek, the new creek channel. Phase 2 is the pink area. This is grading and the kettle levee, or the levee, diversion levee. The red phase here is the storm sewer, and then this blue phase is some culverts to allow the access of water to escape. So currently, at the last presentation we had talked about the new creek bed being excavated, and we had been waiting for the vegetation to grow. During approximately the same time in August there was a lot of rain, and the rain did top over the old creek channel and did flow into the new creek channel. Richard, you can talk more about that if you like, whether you experienced it firsthand. But the creek has officially been diverted August 26th. And then currently, House Sons is working on Richard's property right now to grade that land and to build a diversion levee. I did stop by this morning, and they are starting on the storm sewer section on the other side of DSM, and I'll show you some pictures here. So this is the the old creek overtopping. You can see in the back here, this is the new creek channel. This right here is the old creek channel. You can see that water is going right over there. This is the creek. This is the new creek channel. This is the old creek back here. It flows this way. It's hard to see in here, but you can see it's overtopped in this area right here. And this is the previous picture. And then all of this is retainage from the field over here.
Is that a canoe landing?
No.
I hope not.
Yeah.
For all of our sake.
That's what I was wondering.
So this,
If you have a small canoe.
That's
So-
crazy.
so if you remember this area over here, that's this picture right here, where all that sediment has collapsed. So this is a new creek bed. And in this picture, the creek flows this way and over here. This is a picture of the new creek being diverted. This point of reference right here, the same as this right here. And all of that's been filled in.
That picture is looking south, correct?
Looking south, correct. Another picture, same area looking north. You can see the new creek channel right here. It would flow this way towards Ashley's property. This is DSM right here. This is where that new levee's gonna go. This is the old creek channel.
The road's over here, J is over
J,
here.
this is J right here.
Oh, up there, okay.
This is looking east from Ashley property, where it bends around in that previous picture. It comes down this way, it meanders down, a couple of falls in there, and then it deposits into the sediment pool, and then goes into, there's some wetland over here. This is a sand pile that Ashley requested, and the remaining, Joe, you had asked about the remaining fill, that's piled up here.
The sediment, you say sediment pool, does that mean that periodically there's an area that gets scooped out or something like that?
We have to maintain that, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And then this is looking east, right down that creek bed. Again, this is where that levee will be. This is right on top of that fence area.
This is J over here.
This is J right there.
That's actually west, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going west. And so the creek comes this way, and it meanders down that way. There will be a swale right here, which catches the local retainage, stormwater, and would hopefully flow down that way. And then more pictures of the work currently on the levee now. I believe in talking with Mike Hofstad, the on-site engineer, they believe they'll be done with this late this week or early next week. I don't know what they told me.
It was a little wet there on
Yeah, that's
Friday, they
what it
were pushing those haul trucks
Yeah.
out with a cat.
He's got ruts down there that are 2 feet deep today, and they're bad.
I noticed that tonight, I drove by there.
Generous.
With tracks? Even on tracks?
So this is a picture looking at DSM from Ashley property. This is the new channel where that is. They dug this channel because I believe there's anticipated rain, significant amount of rain this week. So hoping that this would catch so that we don't have too much sediment runoff. But that storm sewer and that third phase will basically come down here and shoot this way over here to the creek. The creek is running right there.
So that diversion gizmo will be gone.
Yeah, all this, you see all this fill right here is gonna be pushed over. Correct. So if you remember at the last time we talked about this, I believe it was second week of October, Haas had
July.
requested. What's that?
July.
Oh, no, when?
Or August, you said the second week of October.
Oh, yeah, August. I'm ahead of myself here. They had asked for a change in deadline and then it was granted. As previously stated, they stabilized a new channel, the new levees, and then they did divert the flow on August 26th. And so they're ahead there of the new deadline. Right now they're working to complete and stabilize that levee, and then they're working on the storm sewer. So they have a couple of days to complete that. They are pretty confident that they will be able to meet those deadlines. So on review of the performance as far as CDBG goes, we are currently still on time. I do have a meeting set up tomorrow with the representative from Department of Administration to monitor our files. I've been working with her throughout this whole process to make sure that our files are up to date and that they're recorded. All of our reports are up to date. We did find that there was an excessive use or excessive force policy and a displacement relocation policy that is required that we currently do not have, and that's on your agenda tonight. That will also be needed for when we do apply for CDBG funding in 2017 for the well number 7. And then our first disbursement from CDBG has been received. And with that, I can take any questions or comments, or if you want any more pictures, I can continue to do so.
Is there any questions from the council or the public?
Mr. Shank, are you happy with it so far?
Yeah, I think we got a good flow. It was up on Middle Road, and the bridge on Middle Road, I noticed that the water level on the floor is at best. So I think that was one of the things that was concerning to me, is whether we were gonna get enough grade down on the lower end, so we didn't back water back up. And so far, I think we achieved it, and I talked to Mike Ostrader the other day, and he had told me there's 2 culverts down by Ashley that they're taking out. It's kind of a restriction right now.
Yeah,
He
those
says-
are these right here.
And he said, once they come out, he said he thinks the flow will probably even increase a little bit more.
So all of this is wetland, kind of the ponds in the back there, where that creek flows. This is that retaining pond, that dock you asked about. And this is all wetland here. And there's a pool here, and there's a pool here, a pool here, and all the water flows this way and out. And so they are replacing these culverts here for that more water flow road.
And that goes directly into the river, or?
Nope, there's more pools back here, and then it eventually goes into the river.
Okay, because that's the old retaining
All
pond
goes
into
into
the
the-
sewer. It's now a wildlife area, or what?
It is.
Can people, is that public?
There's a question about that.
It's actually, or is it actually?
Well, city, some of it's city, some of it's actually, but access to it,
There's no public access.
There's no public access.
there's no
to it.
public
Yeah,
access.
we used to be able to go down the dike. In fact, this is one of my Eagle Scouts did a project to view waterfowl. There's 2 waterfowl observing stations along that dike,
People used to go walking back there too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Walking trail.
it's kind of neat, really.
It is.
I never know if it was all there.
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
area.
and Jerry Myers took me back there just before he died too, and he looked at all that. Still, some of it's still there, so. But anyways, that's another topic.
There was one area on the storm sewer that came off Golden Point Road. And Bill and I, we looked at it several times. It was designed in the original plans to come straight out and go straight into the creek.
Right here.
And and we changed the easement on that to get that pipe to come more at an angle to flow, I don't know, say, to kind of intersect with that creek a little bit better. Well, what had happened was they did that last week, and I don't know if you got the grades wrong, but the pipe, 24-inch pipe, actually ended up sitting on top of the existing soil.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
At least, 3/4 of it was, so what they're gonna do now is, they're gonna try to build it up and put a hump over it. Which isn't ideal, but, I don't know if they talked to you at all about that.
They have not, first time I heard about it.
Yeah.
I can address that with Mike Costa, and see what's going on there.
And it's actually coming out straighter again,
Is it?
because they ended up putting a 20-foot pipe on it already. He said if they moved it over like we had talked, more of an angle, it would have been more pipe, more cost. So, I don't know what
Yeah,
happened there.
He must have ordered the pipe.
I think it's gonna be all right, but, the cattle and I'm gonna have to drive over this hump, and we're hoping that we get a good sod base so it doesn't erode off.
Yeah, I'll talk.
You're home, they're there
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that pipe, it was originally set out to come this way, probably right where they overflow over top there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was changed to go this.
There's a lot of water that comes through there, or not.
I don't think that part, but over where your cattle come through under the bridge,
Yeah.
that's where the water
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
through.
I know what comes through there.
We're thinking a third of a pipe, over here in this section, so which isn't too bad. If it erodes, the concern we got is they laid, Bill will have a picture of that, but they did lay riprap all the way along that bank. Or do you have a
I
picture?
do it,
Yeah, there it is.
There it is, right here.
Yeah, so they laid riprap all the way along this side, but that pipe, that water's gonna shoot to the other side.
It's gonna come to
There's
this.
not there to stop.
So we didn't, they no riprap there. So if we start to get erosion there, then we're gonna have to address it.
I mean, if the water comes up over the top as you, or
Yeah.
what?
So that pipe, you see where my laser is right here?
Mm-hmm.
That pipe is coming this direction.
Oh, it's under?
There.
It's under there, yeah.
And then when it's coming out, what Richard is saying is that when the water comes out, it's gonna erode this side right here.
To make the turn there.
Yeah, for the water to flow like that,
What about putting riprap on that side too?
On this side?
Yeah. Much up above there. It's tough to pull with Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Well, after that first big rain event, those meanders all but disappeared.
Amazing.
So priority now, I think, is getting this part done, where they're working on right now, and getting a good seed bed down this fall. That's a concern. I've talked to Dan Cook and Mike about it, and when they seeded the backside, I don't think Dan is using enough seed. I think he's skimped on seed. He claims he's not, but I took extra seed down for the guys when they seeded the backside. And if we don't get a good sod catch, we're gonna have erosion there. And it's going back to pasture, so I need to have a good grass sod. Otherwise, we're gonna have nothing.
What do they put in there, Mother? I mean, as far as grass, seed, rye or oats?
No, he wouldn't use rye, he's using oats, and we use oats on the backside, and it got a rust and it all died, so the other day I asked them if they could use rye on this. Because I think rye is, oats is gonna die this winter.
Right.
Or the rye will come back next spring and give us a little bit of, vegetation or herb. But,
It's a little tougher too, I think, isn't it?
yeah,
Some buckwheat in there.
I gave them some clover for the other side, they don't wanna use clover, in the stream channel itself, they're required to use a,
By our DNR permit and the US Army Corps permit, there's certain things that we can plant and we can't plant.
They tell you what to plant?
All natives and non-natives.
Clover isn't considered a native.
I don't think it is.
we wanted to use reeds, canary grass, they couldn't use that either, that's a real
That's, yeah.
deep rooted, you know, like old soils. I'm not sure, I don't think we need to use the natives in that waterway now, do we?
Right here?
Yeah, I
In
don't
this
think
area?
we need to use them.
I don't-
do we?
I don't know, I'd have to double check that.
So that's my only concern is that the guy doing the seeding, and we could have a big rain event this week and all that water's gonna go down this new one now. Everything's in place there. And I don't think they're gonna have it seeded. I'm sure they gotta put a map on, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. They're concerned about the rain, but this week.
Do they put those, buffer rolls in there, those black, they put them, I don't know if those, putting stakes in, put plastic in there is, you know, it helps, but I don't think that's as strong as those rolls, 'cause- and then there's,
I think they had those buffer rolls when they put in that new creek bed.
I don't know if they're using those, or if they're using a different erosion control method.
you can stick them down, I think they're tougher than others. But anyway, that's all.
I don't see them in any of these pictures.
So I guess what I'm asking is Bill, can maybe check with Dan, to make sure that he does put enough seed down. Because we are getting late and we're gonna have percentage at seed that probably won't make it, I don't know if it'll survive the winter. And it'd be better than coming back next spring and redoing this completely over again.
Right. Maybe what we waste doing redoing it, might as well use it this year.
Any other?
And your seed is gonna be a heck of a lot cheaper than having them come back and redo it again.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost you labor intensive there.
Well, they need to come back for a spring restoration anyways, to make sure it happens. That, it's all part of the contract, so.
Any other questions? Comments? Concerns?
There are.
I was gonna ask Dick, did you address your concern about the erosion where the pipe comes in on the part of the stream that was only rip-wrapped on one side?
No, we haven't, I think we just take a wait and see approach there. You know,
I mean, it seems like a legitimate concern.
You know, we could get a 6-incher and yeah, it's gonna rinse out there. But if we get a good sod base there, right now we don't have, we're not sodding it anywhere. Once we get a good sod, it might be able to take it.
That's gonna take a year though, isn't it? A sod?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're pretty vulnerable just with new seeding. So you do a little of this, you know, praying, I suppose.
I've been doing that the whole project.
Yeah. For sure.
We have been,
Yeah.
heavy rains have stayed west and north or south.
I shouldn't have said that, but it's coming Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're saying 2 or 3 inches again.
There's a lot of water that comes down through the place. And they're gonna capture it all, I mean, that berm, that levee they're putting in, it's all going to a new bed.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty cold down there Saturday.
So if we get a big one and we lose a lot of that silt, it goes into our stream, which isn't gonna be good, because now we're silting our new bed right away.
Right.
So we gotta keep our fingers crossed that.
Any other questions? If none, I'll close the citizen participation hearing for Myers Valley Creek project, and we'll go back up to the Park and Rec Department update. Scott had some stuff to add on the swimming pool.
All right, I know this isn't a budget meeting, but I just wanted to be kind of upfront and what realistic as far as what's going on, what's we're anticipating. We have another rough start again this year. Obviously, we didn't get started at least a week to 10 days later than what we normally would, so that cost us, I think, that was $10,000 to $15,000. So on the plus side, I guess, is that we have that extra money in the budget yet. You know, a lot of that was wages and other things there, so we have a surplus budget of around 20,000, or 22,000, something like that.
There's some bills to pay at the end of the year, but.
Right, but the issue is it's 17 years old, and we're not spending any money, and we're just fixing broken stuff every year. I would like to get on the other side of the equation so that mid-season comes along, I'm not replacing pumps, I'm not replacing this and that that's 17 years old that I have to replace now. And now it's costing us shutting down. Every time that we shut down for mechanical reasons, it's 3 or 4 days minimum. And that's if we can get the parts. I was concerned we might not even, we're going to be able to get a part for the pump this year. They were talking a month to manufacture and get the part. Well, thank God they found one someplace around the United States, so we were able to, you know, to make it work. But this is the second year in a row where we're having issues with this pool. Okay, I still got 3 pumps that are 17 years old that the impellers are all going to need replacing in, and they're $1,000 a pop for the impellers alone. Okay, when they do the impellers, then you usually want to refurbish the motors, because the motors are 17 years old. So we're probably talking in the neighborhood of $2,500 per pump, and I have 3 of those, okay? And that's just addressing the pump issues, okay? Pool heater. I was told by Bart Gales that we replaced, or we didn't replace it, we refurbished it. Like 7, 8 years ago, I believe, Ken came up and they spent the money to refurbish. They're saying that's 2 or 3 years max, and then we're gonna have to make a decision on what we wanna do with the pool heater again. Now that unit's 17 years old, it's been refurbished once, and we're looking at probably $15,000 to $18,000 for a brand new pool heater for it, okay? Now, if you decide to go that way, hopefully that unit would last 17 years, or at least 15 years anyway, if we bought a brand new one. But if we refurbish again, then we're going to look at 5 to 7 year period again. And I don't know, you know, I haven't talked to them enough about it to see if we can refurbish the old one again and redo the same stuff we did last time, or whether, you know, it's just going to be better off to buy a new unit. I don't know. But I can check on that. But I've indicated M's for maintenance, C for capital. The M stuff is the stuff that we really need to look at trying to do as soon as possible. Those are issues that I'd really like to take care of. Now I know we have some money left in the budget, but some of that is wage money. But we did save that money over that period because we were down those 15 days. If we were to use the total amount that we have left in the budget, we could almost complete this list, okay? With the exception of the high-priced pool heater, the frog itself, probably cool lighting. The rest of those, and maybe, depending, maybe the big slide too, because that's going to be about $8,000 or $9,000 to refurbish the big slide, but that's going to come due as well. So we could take care of probably, I would say, at least 10 to 12 items on that list if we'd be able to use what we have remaining in the budget for this year. If we can't, then realistically, we're probably looking at what's at the top, at least for 2 or 3 years, to try and increase our budget somewhat to be able to afford to get some of this stuff done.
Would there be enough time to do those repairs by the end of this year, or is it something you look at starting in the spring? You'd have all the parts, order all the
We
stuff.
we could do both. I mean, I could do half of it probably yet this year, I think, if we're given the approval to do it. I think I can at least get it set up, so it could still come out of the budget this year and get most of it done this year. I just don't wanna end up mid-season and stuff breaking again like we had this last season.
I don't
Because
think
that's
it's gonna
the
close
worst,
again.
yeah, I mean, you guys, people are serious about their pool, they want it to be open, and, you know, it gets used. You know, it's lap swim, morning and noon, swim lessons, 3 sessions every morning, from about 8 o'clock till noon, and then lap swim, and we got Zumba at night, swim team at night. So this facility basically gets used from 6 in the morning, all the way till 8:39 at night,
Are we still open?
every day.
Are we still open?
We are not, no.
Saturdays and Sundays?
Oh, yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays, it doesn't close.
No swimming lessons on Saturday or Sunday.
Right, Monday through Friday on the swimming lessons, but and everything else kind of alternates. But it gets used, you know, Monday through Friday, it's 18 hours, 16
I'm
hours.
gonna make a motion that we allow Mr. Leonard to, start
It's
doing
not
some
really
repairs.
on the, to be listed on that, but, I mean, we can,
Verbally.
yeah, I mean, you can do that, cause if it's, the money is budgeted,
Put it on the agenda.
yeah, you don't
I would-
necessarily,
Should we put it on?
I would take a look, we need to take a look at the 2016 budget first, because I believe there's certain liabilities that we still have that is not covered by this year's budget.
Overall budget?
overall.
So you want to take our money and put it in something else's money?
I just
I'm
want,
just
I just
saying,
wanted to
those
say,
all are-
I just wanted to
I
say.
know.
And when Ebba and I talked last week, I said it might be a little premature, because we don't exactly know where we're gonna come at the end of the year. It's not that it doesn't need to be done,
Right, and I understand that, I just don't want to be behind the 8 ball for the 3rd year in a row trying to fix stuff in the middle of the year. That's my big concern.
right,
Because like I say, we're going on 17, 18 years old now, and it just isn't lasting. I just need to be able to take care of some of this stuff, because
Right.
it's just, it's old.
no, we understand that, and in the coming weeks, we'll have a better idea of what.
Okay,
what
I would
is left
appreciate
out there.
any that we can get, that would be great if you can allow whatever we need, just to try and float the ship a little better than what it did this year, so.
No, you guys, you did an amazing job
Well,
in getting it back up and running so
I know,
quick,
but
so
I
now-
just.
You don't wanna do it again
It's
next
just
year?
tough in the middle of it, you know, I mean, because then everybody's calling, oh, the pool's not open, the pool's not open, you got swimming lessons, and then, you know, then the school gets a little
Right,
itchy about whether, how much they wanna pay, because they missed lessons for 2 or 3 days, so I mean, if we can get it up and running and keep it functioning during the pool season, that is my goal for next year, is to, first of all, I'm gonna try and start it a little bit earlier, make sure that I can get things up and running a week ahead of time than what we were scheduled this year, because I need to make sure stuff is running. But the problem is, you don't know when it's gonna break, that's the problem,
right.
you know, I mean, that's my whole issue here, so. Thank you,
Any
Appreciate
questions for
it.
Scott?
appreciate it. Oh, by the way, we had 8,194 patrons this year total, and that's just paid, you know, after all, doesn't count any of this other stuff, that's just paid patrons from 1 o'clock till 7:30 of it, is it?
That's
Our regular open hours.
membership and paid.
Right.
That had memberships in.
Right, so
Regular
that,
open hours.
so that averages 135 people in that pool per day. So that's pretty good, pretty good average over that
And that's
period.
paid
so.
patrons, that doesn't
Yes.
count swimming lessons, doesn't
No,
count.
does not count any of the extras.
Memberships and daily admission.
That's it, so, okay, it's general operating, so I think that's pretty good, it's over 134 days.
Good.
All right, thank you.
You bet, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Guys, I just have to tell you that Scott, you know, it's only his 2nd year, but he has come up from driver's ed and a police officer and has done a fantastic job of keeping up and keeping me informed too, and we work well together to get everything. We'll see that, and Raleigh, I already gave
Is
you
this
a
your dream
compliment.
retirement job, Scott?
Oh, man, I tell you, it's been challenging at times, let me tell you.
Dream or nightmare?
But I told you about Raleigh, you missed your compliment, but I just said Raleigh.
that makes me.
Okay, it makes it good, but just Raleigh, anytime we need something, whatever it is, whatever,
Yeah, he's
Except
been,
the poop on the walls, he would not clean that for me. Oh, we had that too, but anyways, just fantastic working with
Sometimes you gotta say no.
that's right, draw the line.
Yeah, that's where Eva comes in and cleans it.
Yeah, and I reiterate
Just-
that as well, Raleigh's been
Oh my
really good to
gosh.
work with, he's done a lot of things to help me out, and
Amazing.
I mean, it's been great, so
His,
thanks, Raleigh.
his mind, how it works, he'll look at something totally and it's just.
Kind of scary.
He figures out a whole different idea, so he's amazing, amazing, so, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Keep us informed.
Move on to item 8A, appointment of utility commissioner, the E position for a period expiring October 1st, 2021.
So moved.
Motion by Fetch, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mazak. Any discussion?
Jim Wojni, right?
It is Jim Wojni. Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Fetch.
Yes.
Holstead.
Yes.
Slusher.
Yes.
Feltes. Wojni.
Yes.
Mezek.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item B, appointment of Economic Development Committee member E for period expiring April 16th, 2018.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, second by Fetch. Any discussion?
Is there a conflict of interest since Terry is our legal advisor or something like that? He's still a public person in the community, I know, but is there no problem with that? Is there?
Not that I see.
Probably
get a little
yeah.
free legal advice
Yeah.
if we put him on there, maybe? Right, Bill?
I don't know if I'd say that.
Don't put that on paper.
She's scratching there.
Any other comments? When he was asked, he didn't, I'm sure he would have said,
More than likely.
okay, that was. Clerk will call the roll.
Holstead.
Yes.
Slusher.
Yes.
Feltes.
Yep.
Wojni.
Yes.
Mezek.
Yes.
Fetch.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item C, discussion and possible adoption of a resolution 2016-10, excessive force resolution and policy.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, second by Fetch. This was brought up in the public comment about stuff we have to have on our books to apply for the CDBG grant, and this is one of the things that we're missing.
If you have any
questions?
Yeah, and if you have any questions that come up later in regards to these two policies, feel free to let me know and we can discuss it.
Any comments?
Is there just kind of a general summary of what that entails, possible force of what, for who and all of it? I mean, just off the top of my head, I don't know.
It's in regards to use of force, excessive use of force by law enforcement agencies whenever there's a non-violent,
Oh, okay.
civil rights demonstration in public places.
Yeah.
That's what's been going on in the United States. So
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Call the question.
All right. Clerk will call the roll.
Slusher.
Yes.
Feltes.
Yep.
Wojni.
Yes.
Mezek.
Yes.
Fetch.
Yes.
Holstead.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item D, discussion and possible approval of residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, is there a second? Second by Slusher. This is similar policies that has to be in place for the CDBG grant.
And this one states that we'll minimize, any displacement of, anybody who's got housing or tenants, in regards to any of our CDBG projects. Certain things that we have to, take into consideration or actions that we have to take, should those situations present themselves.
Could you give an example, Bill,
Um,
of a residential displacement?
So like if there was low to moderate income housing on the property that we needed to purchase or to obtain, to build something funded by the CDBG. So if we were to build a city hall, and the area that we needed to build the city hall on, the site that we needed to build city hall on had, I don't know, 6 apartment buildings on there, or 6 apartment units that were low to or had low to moderate income, then we would have to take these steps to make sure that they are displaced properly and then relocated, before we accept money from CDBG.
Makes sense?
Yes, thank you for that.
Any other questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Can we amend that motion, can we add, make that resolution 2016-11, we should have caught that earlier, but I think it'll be easier to find in the future if we just add a resolution number to item 8B.
Instead of 10?
8E. 26, oh, you wanted to say 2016-11?
Yes.
Is that okay with the motion
So
in a
moved.
second? Sure.
Yes.
That's fine with both. Clerk will call the roll.
Feltes.
Yep.
Wojni.
Yes.
Mason.
Yes.
Petch.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Fleischer.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8E, joint funding agreement for river streamage from October 1st, 2016 to September 30th, 2017. This is part of the Trumbull County what do you call it? High water warning system.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Fetch. Any questions in regards to that?
What's it, about $7,000 a year?
7,500.
Yeah.
What that does is, self-monitors the flow of the river. We get a lot of rain here, reports upstream, or we get a report from upstream, what's gonna come to us.
This is recommended, this gauge was recommended by Davy or somebody like that?
There's
or-
actually,
Corps of Engineers.
there's actually part of a project through Trumbull County.
Okay.
And one of the gauges needed to be at our facility. And they got a grant to do the project, I think it was 75% of the grant.
So
So
this
this is
is,
the annual fee to maintain it.
this is a digital gizmo or something like that, and so it can't be
Yes,
cheaper,
I-
is what I'm saying, I guess I'm thinking.
I don't know how well it's utilized, maybe Raleigh knows a little bit more. Maybe he'll tell you later.
No comment.
But, I mean, that's the theory behind it. Having the town of, I think it starts like in the town of Hale, Chimney Rock, the whole watershed.
All the way down to Dodge.
Yeah. Northfield.
If it was my decision, we'd do away with
Seriously,
it, seriously.
why?
Because in 2010, 20 minutes after we got out, we knew that Blair had 9 inches of rain. We knew what was coming. It's a lot of money every year just so people can look on the computer and see where water level's at. Especially if you go across on the other side of the bridge, you got the same gauge set to the same, on that post that's down there.
Well, maybe it's something that maybe we should.
I've had discussions with people at City Hall about this, and I think it's a lot of money.
That's what I mentioned, $7,000 for a gauge, you
I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'm not against going against it, but maybe at this time, we renew it for this year, and I can work with Trumbull County to see if we can get it reduced, or we just don't do it.
have a discussion as far as.
Right, because we really haven't had that discussion.
Yeah.
I've seen them guys there, not that I'm there all the time, but I've seen them there twice this year. 'Cause it didn't work, so they come and work now.
From the US.
One was the Friday of Ashley for the Arts, and one other time was early in spring they were there. And I would imagine that's just maintenance in the spring.
Sure.
Didn't work right along with almost every other one in that whole system, that Friday of Ashley for the Arts.
I
If you
can,
looked at an NWS, there was hardly any readings there. Ours came up later after they fixed it, and there was one other one on the whole Trumbull River watershed. I don't know how many are on there total,
I
but,
wanna say there was 7 or 8, 9
okay,
maybe.
so you're at 25%. You know,
I'll work with, Dan Schreiner, the emergency management, I think he's kind of the head of that.
Yeah, we should see if this is a requirement of the USGS or not.
Well, I think they asked the city to help pay for it. I was on the county board at the time, but they're required to. Maybe the county can pick up the tab.
The county, okay.
Good comment.
Yeah.
we've got cell phones now, like Raul was saying, you know, if it's raining way up by Hickston or something like that, and, people just call back down the line.
2010, Adam, Joe, you both are on the fire department, we knew it was coming long before it hit. It
But-
just,
But
I
yeah,
mean, I don't know what it cost to put in originally, but it just seems like a lot of
Hundred
money
and,
every year.
oh geez, $125,000 or $135,000, I think is what it was, so,
For the whole system.
for the whole system. And they have rain, there's different rain gauges throughout, you know, even up into Jackson County.
And their official rain gauges on.
You know, are they getting, there's one here and there's one in, who pays, there's one on Elk Creek, I believe. Who pays for that one? You know,
That I do
I
not.
mean, I think if nothing else, we should dig into this and see what they're getting paid, you know?
Sure.
If there's 6 of them and they're getting $7,500 a piece, it's $45,000 a year just to maintain these things.
I can
Seems
sure,
like a lot of money to me.
I can surely look into it. And I'll talk to Dan. Like I said, I don't know if we're a little late in the boat to do that now.
You know, I mean, this is one of the items when me and Angela and Bill sat down, when, you know, the street department's percent of that 85,000 that we're not getting this year was like 21%, or 21,000. Well, that takes care of a third of it right there,
Right.
you know?
So it's just a glorified stick in the water, or what?
And
More or less?
And there's a bunch of stuff in the
Well,
box, but I can't
well,
talk to
you
you
know what
what
I'm
that
saying.
is.
Yes. It basically tells how fast the river's going out.
There's a line going in, there's a I think it's a hydrogen tank inside there.
It
You
sounds,
got me, Adam.
It's a glorified stick in the water, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, we can definitely pass on this. We could talk to Trumbull County and,
yeah, we need to find out who else is involved, because if it's the US Geological Survey team that does, you know, flood data for mapping, that's kind of over our head.
but I don't, if I recall, and Joe or somebody else that was on the council at that time, I don't recall that ever being an issue. I think the county came and asked if the city would cover that yearly expense. I don't think it was
Okay.
anything other than the county's, part of the sheriff's department.
Okay. I guess I don't know anything
The
about it, but I,
emergency management department, the
That's-
sheriff's department is who was asking for it. That's who came in, Dan Schreiner came in and talked about it, so.
You know, I believe that it takes the reading, but whenever the water's high, I mean, like the day before Ashley for the Arts, Diana had her officer checking that river every half an hour. I mean, at 3 in the morning, Mr. Shellhorn was getting awfully nervous, but he was still checking it every half an hour and calling it into the county. So are we, you know,
Right.
double dosing here on that? I mean,
Is this a governmental requirement to have a gauge?
I don't believe so.
I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Well, you know, maybe we'll just hold off and not, we can make a motion to table it, and I'll call Dan Schreiner tomorrow and see what the feeling is.
just for the record, the gauge on the other side that's on the post, I know some people probably know what that is. Adam, you can
Well,
go by it all the time.
Well,
Now I've actually marked on there, like where it was in 2010 and where it was in 2016. So you're gonna take a look at that. There's mark, it's
Okay.
marked. So,
yeah, personally, I get more use out of that thing, I mean, that other, you know,
right,
The thing you crank into.
yeah.
but I mean, it was, just for the record, it was 9 inches lower the day before Ashley for the Arts that morning than it was in 2010. And you know what it looked like that Friday morning? It looked pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
So Ken was a bugger, you know,
You don't have to tell me.
yeah. But take a look at that on the other side.
Yep.
You know, I got it marked on there now. That was the question everyone asked me. Where was it in 2010? I went to Dwayne Harold and got a piece of stainless and bent it and got some letters. So it's pretty cool. People can
So you keep a log of levels or what?
Diana keeps the log of like the levels it was at each hour,
Oh, okay.
which is accessible to me at any time, but I just put the 2 high points from 10, and then the day before Ashley for the Arts is the highest it's been since then. that Friday morning at 3 o'clock. After Elk Creek got 10 inches and the Cream and Wamedy whole debacle, that wasn't here, but Elk Creek got that big dump.
So item 8E, who made the motion?
Me.
Would you like to either retract or entertain a motion, just table it to the next meeting?
Make a motion to table it.
Table, second.
Clerk will call the roll.
And that was seconded by Todd?
Yes.
So we gotta move on the.
We'll just table it.
And you're tabling it to the October 3rd meeting?
Sure.
Okay, Mazak.
Yes.
Fetch. Colson.
Yes.
Slusher.
Yes.
Feltes. Wojni.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8F, approval of section 205 escrow agreement between the city of Arcadia and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Something that's been talked about for the last 8 months, maybe at least.
Yeah, and I did wanna make
You know.
I did wanna make a note that in reviewing the project management plan, because of the prices were estimated in 2015 and we're starting the project now in 2016, there is an increase in the cost of the total project, because of the change in wages, it looks like here. Let's see here, cost estimate was prepared December 2015, the hourly rates have increased. Some of the team members have been replaced, and then the hourly rates reflect the increase and substitutions in team members, and that amount is approximately $36,000.
So we'd be over 600,000, or that 36 is half
Well,
of
it
that?
still needs to be split, yeah, so about 18.
It's almost 600,000.
So 508,000.
And the longer we do the alley around, it's gonna keep going up too.
It's very possible. Is flood mitigation still a priority?
Yes.
Yes.
No doubt.
Then $18,000 out of the 570 is a no-brainer, as long as we're gonna spend another 18 next year to wait on it, in my opinion.
Need a motion here?
Yes.
Move.
Motion by Vetch, second by Slusher. Any discussion?
Just some additional information here, so, you know, with this escrow agreement being signed, we're thinking about starting the feasibility study phase of this project, looks like October 17th is the date. They'll be in town here for a visit to take a look at the river again and start their process, but I'll keep the council up to date, as we go along here.
Any other comments, questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Fetch.
Yes.
Colson.
Yes.
Slusher.
Yes.
Feltes. Wojni.
Yes.
Mazak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 8G, authorize Ellers and Associates to solicit bids for $1.28 million for the electric system revenue refunding bonds, series 2016A.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Fetch. In your packet, it states that the refinancing, this money will actually save the utility $68,877. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, clerk will call the roll.
Colson.
Yes.
Slusher.
Yes.
Feltes. Wojni.
Yes.
Mazak.
Yes.
Fetch.
Yes.
Motion carries. 9.8, approval of bills of general account, the amount of $294,674.02.
So moved.
Motion by Feltes, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Colston. Any questions?
I have one. Arcadia School District, $274.10 bus transportation to Wisconsin Dells.
I believe they take an end of the year trip for like anybody that's participated, like the 8th graders.
Okay.
And the school district charges them for the transportation,
Okay.
use of the bus and the driver.
got a question on the, let's see. Something to do with, on the city of Arcadia, the Nikki Myers electrical upgrade. Okay, so the city pays for that, or she pays? I see, are we paying for that?
I thought that came out of the TIF district.
Oh, we approved that to do the upgrade. And this came out of TIF dollars.
Okay, I just
Should that be an M?
forget all that stuff.
Well, when it happens 3 months ago, and then it happens, then you finally see it, what it was done 4 months ago. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Fletcher?
Yep.
Feltes?
Yep.
Wojni?
Yes.
Mezek?
Yes.
Petch?
Yes.
Olsted? Yes.
Motion carries. We have no pay requests.
There are none.
Operator licenses.
So moved, pending background checks.
Motion by Feltus, second by Mazak. Any comments or discussion?
I see the first one, Cassandra, so she's doing well on her probation period.
I have not heard any difference.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was rerun and it came back fine, so
Okay,
we're issuing
good.
her permanent license.
Good, good. Good for her.
Any other questions? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Feltes?
Yes.
Wojni?
Yes.
Mezek?
Yes.
Petch?
Yes.
Olsted? Yes. Fletcher?
Yes.
Motion carries. Future agenda items. Mr. Mazak.
Nothing.
Mr. Fetch. Don't tell me your computer died.
No, I'm finding it right here, I got it, I don't know how to say that. Okay, couple items, Washington Port update, I'd like to see on the agenda. I talked to Gary Bouch today, and he's getting some bids and things like that, so Bill.
Should we get in contact with Gary, so if he's ready, he can come in
Yes.
2 weeks?
Right,
Do that?
I think so, he just might be ready by then. Yeah,
Okay.
so he's all fired up for that. Second thing is I got some information from the state DOT about sharing the roads with bicycles, bicycle sharing the road and signage information. Since Highway 93, when they finish that, there will be signage on the road indicating sharing for bicycles there. Since Highway 95 goes through town, I'm looking for supplemental or possibility of doing the same thing here to make sure bicyclists that come to the area are aware of this is a sharing area. People are aware. When people see that sign, you're looking more for cyclists, and so you don't open doors and door bicyclists and all this other thing. So what I'd like to do is I gave the mayor as well as Bill information on that, and I think all we
I
got.
got the information, but I don't ever, did you send back that attachment? I think the first time you forgot to attach something. I think
Yeah.
Bill responded, but then
But
maybe you just responded back.
He gave me a hard
Yeah, I
copy.
made a hard copy and I give it to both of
Okay,
you.
I'll stop.
Yeah, yeah, so it basically tells you what you can do, and I think it's, hopefully all we gotta do is get the sign and zap the road. And hopefully that'll be all we need to do at this time. I don't know if that makes more work for Raul, if the state does this, or who, but,
Probably the state puts, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how expensive, you gotta do it so many feet, so many blocks too.
If it's signs, the state usually requires the city or whoever to put up the sign.
Okay, but painting.
I'll have to read through the manual and find
Yeah,
out.
we'll have to look at that. But, so we should talk about that. All right. Maybe so we're ready for next year anyway, so. I still ride my bike and there's a lot of others too. That's all I have for the moment, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Colston.
Oh, these are just things I brought up before, a report from Arcadia Sands as to their status. And we had talked several months ago about sharing a police officer with the high school, where we are on that.
And right now on that, I can answer that quickly. It's, they have some budget concerns of their own, so.
The high school.
Yeah, they still on the burner, just not on the front. That's what I was told.
Because it's a tax burden, if it comes from the school or if it comes from us, it's a tax burden. And when I talked to Mr. Ferguson, he was not in favor of it, so.
But there's a spot possibly for this person, I think.
Anything else?
I think that's all, thank you.
Mr. Slusher?
I have nothing.
Mr. Feltus?
Bramer Recycling, it's gotta get cleaned up.
All right.
So how does this get done?
The gentleman that complained to me said it's all the way out to the street now.
How many lawnmowers?
There was
He
none
said he
today.
had 3 or 4 lawnmowers there too.
There was none today.
Maybe get one over.
Does he fix them and sell them?
I don't
Anything else?
know. I was at a
Little
wedding
cards.
Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
For the city hall.
Information.
Position, I have one.
Mr. Washington?
Bubbler running all winter, that was a concern that was brought to me. Is it necessary that we run that bubbler year round during the winter?
Is that running from Washington Clark?
Last year we ran all,
Not all winter, all summer, spring, summer,
well,
fall.
I believe it was into winter.
Well, it won't run in the winter.
Okay.
Can I just bring up one item under future agenda items as well? At the last meeting, you guys had approved a part-time hire for City Hall, and that candidate has withdrawn her name for consideration, so we are back to posting that position. And so, we got a few resumes already, and it'll be in the paper the next couple weeks, so just so that everyone kind of aware that, we're back to hiring that position.
Susan is
The,
no.
the person that we approved last time.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, on to the next one. Anything else?
That's all I had.
No, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Slusher, second by Fetch. Clerk will call the roll.
Wojni.
Yes.
Mezak.
Yes.
Fetch.
Yes.
Holsted.
Yes.
Flusher.
Yes.
Feltes.
Motion carries. Stand adjourned.
Was this yours, or was it here? Oh, maybe.
I have a pen.
But yes,
Souvenir Arcadia.
I didn't ask.